All that hand painting work gone in a second.
Well, it was a tasty second.
Welcome back to My Cupcake Addiction. Today I'm getting my spooky on, but in kind of a cute way, and we're going to make adorable candy chocolate sugar skulls, or sugar candy chocolate skulls. They're sugar skulls and they're made out of chocolate. It's kind of hard to work out. The things that you're going to need to make your sugar skulls: you'll need some white candy melts or a compound white chocolate, and you're also going to need some candy colors or oil-based food colorings. You could also switch these out for pre-colored candy melts in a bunch of different colors. You'll need a fair few toothpicks and a few snap seal bags. I'm using a skull Jello mold, but I'm using it as a chocolate mold today. And I've also got some little battery-powered tea light candles and candy. Lots and lots of candy. Let's get started. First up, you want to mold your skull. So I'm going to take plain white candy melts into my skull Jello mold, and I'm going to do 2 thin coats here. Spoon in a generous amount, and because you've got a lot of little nooks and crannies inside your skull, you're really going to want to tap it on the bench. Make sure it gets in all of those eye, teeth, and kind of cracked head holes. And you want to pay particular attention to those top edges because they're the ones that are going to crack, if anywhere, when you go to pull this out. You want them to be nice and strong. Once you've got your first coat in the interest of saving chocolate, you can just tip out any of your excess. Make sure that it's pretty evenly distributed, and again, those edges are nice and covered. Off into the fridge with that one. We're going to let that set, and then we're going to do another coat. Coming back from the fridge, that should be really nice and chilled. You want to do another coat, paying particular attention to get it nice and thick around the eyes, the teeth, and that big bulbous forehead. These are kind of pressure points, so make sure that you've got a little more chocolate there, as well as around those edges. Before this one goes back off into the fridge, I'm going to scrape back any chocolate from those eyes. So you can use a knife or a spoon, and then I'm just going to run my finger around them to get them as smooth as possible, because I want the chocolate everywhere except the eyes. I want those eyes left clear. Pop that one back off into the fridge for at least 15 minutes so it's really nice and chilled, and then pop it straight into the freezer for just 5 minutes. That's going to snap chill it, and it's going to contract it away from the outside edges of our little mold and help it to release a little bit easier. Once that one's nice and chilled, you should just be able to gently coax it, and you should actually be able to see that it's pulled away from that Jello mold on the inside, so it shouldn't really be stuck anywhere, but you can just gently release those sides just to help it out a little bit. I like to support it with my hands as it comes out, just so that I don't have any cracking, especially around those eyes. There's our skull. Deliciously, I'm going to say perfect, or almost perfect. Handle gently. If your skull should crack or break, remember you have a ton of detail on these. So just glue it back together with a little bit of melted white candy and get decorating, and make sure it gets a leaf or a vine or some flowers or something over it. All right, now it's time to decorate. You have a lot of options with the decoration here. I'm opting for super bright colors, but regardless of what you choose, you want to start with your black detail. So I'm using black candy melts, and I'm using a paintbrush to paint the insides, or the blacks or the hollows of the eyes. I'm also going to paint the inside and the hollow of the nose. And once I'm happy that I've got a nice coating of that black candy melt, I'm going to pop the rest into a snap seal bag and cut off a super fine tip and use it like a bit of a piping bag. I start by etching around all of those teeth, so filling in the black and defining each of our little sugar skulls pearly whites. We're going to have loads of other colors on top of this black, so don't worry if your black's not absolutely perfect. Once you've got the eyes, the nose, and the mouth sorted out, you can start your detailing, and I prefer to do one full side and then turn it around and try to mirror image. Mirror imaging is actually really hard, so don't be too hard on yourself if both sides are not completely perfect. And these guys are designed to be hand painted and hand colored, so they really shouldn't be too perfect. Let your black outlines completely dry before starting to flood them with color. That's going to stop them from bleeding into the colors, and it'll make your colors really pop. You can pop it in the fridge for a few minutes if you like. Try to work one color at a time. I did all of my black, then all of my yellow, all of my blue details, and so on, so that I'm not constantly trying to keep 5 different colors of candy melted. Really, you can get as creative as you like here. It does sometimes pay to have an inspiration image so that you've got something to kind of copy off and to make sure that you're getting both of your sides relatively even. I want to show you guys this very carefully. So that's it. That's our little sugar skull all decorated. Keep that nice and chilled until you're ready to move it, because that chocolate can tend to be a little bit soft, particularly in warmer weather. And the more chilled it is, the more easily you're going to be able to move it around and the less fingerprints you'll leave. From here, you've got options. You could use them like a piñata, you could fill them with cake, but I decided to put mine into my little trick or treat container because it's going to add a really nice warm glow to what's otherwise just a container of candy. So I used a container that was going to be big enough, and I chose black, piled candy inside, and then activated 2 little tea light candles right behind where the eyes were going to go. I added my little sugar skull straight on top and then piled more candy all around the outside edges. The result is unbelievable. The kids can come in with little hammers, they can smash up the sugar skull, eat the chocolate pieces, and then dive into the candy underneath. Now I know this camera angle is the best for this. I don't think I can do it justice trying to lift it, but this is our sugar skull glowing little trick-or-treat container. This is one of dozens of awesome Halloween ideas that I have on the MyCupcakeAddiction YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to my Halloween playlist down below. I have 8 new ideas this year, but I do loads of videos every year, so don't discount the ones we did last year if you're looking for really fun, simple, and over-the-top Halloween entertaining ideas. So the ultimate judge in any situation at my house is always the kids. I think we should bring them in and see what they think. Is it too creepy, or is it just cool enough that they can't wait to get to the candy underneath? Wait. No looking?
I'm looking. Such a pretty skeleton.
It is. Do you like it, Jake?
I'm gonna smash it.
All right, smash it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Whoa!
Yeah!
All that hand painting work gone in a second.
Well, it was a tasty second.